Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing fantastically well. So today I want to give an update on my journey with Darwinex. Has it been worth it and what my plans are going forward? So if you don't know who Darwinex are, they're essentially a trading company and you can trade with them on two different routes. You have the Darwinex Classic or the Darwinex Zero. Darwinex Zero is on simulated virtual funds where you pay a subscription fee per month to get access to that platform. And then over a period of time, you get allocations of capital depending on your performance, and you get performance fees paid out every 3 months. The Classic essentially is a trading platform. It's your own money in there, and if you're able to successfully get a Darwin created, again, you can get allocations of capital from them and get the performance fees paid out. Now, they're not essentially a prop firm like the general ones we know. They're more about building a track record for a long period of time to enable other investors with equity that you want to put into the markets to allow to trade against your particular strategy. They can obviously then invest in you as a trader or a selection of traders to spread their portfolio. Now, I chose to go down the Classic route because I didn't want to pay the subscription fee for the Darwinex Zero. Now, what they have done recently is introduced a 1 year and a 3 year subscription model, so therefore it gets cheaper over time. But again, that's ability for you to actually commit to a long-term plan, whereas a lot of traders don't want to do that. They want to get in and out to get some profits and move on from there. This for me was another way of trading for the long period of time to attract investors. It might take me 2, 3, 5 years down the line, but that's my ultimate goal. And ultimately, I'm just using my own money and trading that. And if I do decide to quit, I can take the profits out at any time. Now, when I started, did fantastically well, got the first couple of months on my belt. And because the way in which it works for the allocations, it takes your last month's trading, your 3 months trading, as well as your drawdowns to give you a rating. Now, based on that, you get an allocation, and over the first 3 months of trading with them, I got a total allocation of 110,000 euros. Now, what happens from that point is they pay out quarterly, and you're entitled to a 15% performance fee. I was on course for around about 500, maybe 600 pounds performance fees, but unfortunately, in the last month, I went into a bit of a tailspin, got a bit of a drawdown, and really started to lose it from that point. Now, what really happened was I was in a particular trade, and what I was doing was averaging down to get to a better position. Ultimately, what happened was all those trades did actually come out, and the overall strategy on that one paid out and I made a profit, but my actual rating went down. And that all comes down to how the allocation works in the risk engine in the background. So what was happening is the first trade was placed, a second trade, and therefore they readjusted the allocation of the actual amount in the market. So actual overall, I lost, but I gained, if that makes any sense. So at that point, I was really starting to question the whole mechanics behind the scenes. Now, you can go and research how the risk engine works. It is very complicated, very mathematical, and to be honest, I don't even understand it. The reality is what it does in essence is looks at the trade you're placing, looks what other risks you have in the markets, and therefore adjusts that accordingly. Now, I get it. You don't want to have the investors in your Darwin to be overexposed to any particular market or any circumstances. But the reality is, if you are doing a number of trades and you close out overall that day for a profit, you expect to see your overall account and your score go up. And so at that point, I really started to fight the market, really started to battle against the whole system. And the reality was I had some long-term swing trades running, and they were running in a drawdown. And because when you go over the next month, it effectively carries those over. Now, although I'd made profits in the previous month, it then started to look at I was in a big drawdown, and the reality was I wasn't. I was still actually making profits. But because of that, it started to have an impact, and it was showing that the performance fees I was looking to get was going down from, let's say, £500 down to 300, 200, and then down to 0. So at that point, okay, I'm not going to get a payout. I might as well just let it run. And for me, that's one of the hardest things with Darwinex is really understanding, are you in this to get payouts from the allocations of money they're giving you? Or are you actually looking to invest your own money and accumulate and compound that over a period of time and then hopefully get some pump payouts, but then at the point of going to Darwinex Gold, then looking to get much better investments. Now, to get to Darwinex Gold, that's where it really starts to take over. You need to have a minimum of 8 months track record. You need to have over 20% return in the first year. But because of the actual way the risk engine works, you could be making multiple percent on a particular account, but that only shows as 0.5% or even 1% actually in the actual scoring. So again, that's all down to the risk engine, how it's based on the investors and how it's recorded on your dashboard. So yes, 20% in a year, perfectly achievable, but the reality is you might need to be getting 20, 40 or even 60% return based on the risk engine to actually achieve that. Then we start looking at your drawdown ratio. You need to have 2.5 times profits to your maximum drawdown. So in my case, I actually hit a drawdown of 12%, although relatively I was never actually in a negative on the account, but because the way it works, that according to me was 12.5%. So I need to get 2.5 times that to get into the gold level. That is going to be a significant amount of trading. So although I was hoping to get into the gold within 8 to 10 months, the reality is I'm probably another year away from getting to gold, and the much better allocations, as well as the allocations lasting for 6 months, as opposed to cancelling after the 3 months period. So as a broker on the Darwinex Classic, I had no issues whatsoever. The execution has been good, but again, the account size is quite small, and therefore I wouldn't expect to get any slippage, as well as any trades not being executed. So really for me, I've had no problems whatsoever. I do see the big challenges if you were on the zero account and you were actually paying a subscription every single month and not getting the performance fees because you hit 1 month at the end of your 3-month period, and therefore you didn't get any money back from them. And I think that's the biggest downfall. And the problem is a lot of people on YouTube are actually only showing people with the zero accounts, not actually the classic accounts. And also you're not really seeing people getting payouts as such, because there are a lot of people who are signing up for it now on the YouTube only been doing it for, let's say, 3-6 months maximum of a year. So they've not got to any significant payouts, and they haven't actually been showing them. So it is difficult to actually prove how much people are getting paid out through performance fees. And hopefully within the next 3 months, I'll be able to start showing that. Problem being, as I've said before, is that it takes the account over the past 3 months and looks at the profit from there and the current month. Now, because my previous 3 months, I had a lot of drawdown, it's going to take me, I say, 3-4 months to get back to a point where I can get allocation and performance fees. So again, a bit of a bummer, but I'm going to stick with it and keep reporting back the good and the bad, and hopefully get up to gold status and bring in some investors as well. So I hope that's been useful to everybody. It's not a platform that's going to be for everyone out there. Do your research, go on the website, have a real scan through, see if it's right for you. And as always, you can reach out to me either through comments on the video or through Instagram, and I'll do my best to reply to everyone. So thanks for watching. Catch you again very soon. Cheers.